You don't need to be an AI developer to use the most powerful AI coding tool on the planet. I've been using Claude Code every single day for months, and I don't write any code. These 10 tips took me from I have no idea to what I'm doing to running multiple AI agents that write my content, build my project, and do the work that used to take me an entire week in minutes. By the end of this video, you'll have 10 actionable tips that you can use today to start getting real work done with Claude Code, even if you've never opened a terminal in your life. Claude Code is Anthropic's agentic coding tool. Most content about it is aimed at developers, but non-engineers might actually benefit it from the most. We just need a different playbook. Claude Code has gotten dramatically more accessible with their desktop apps, the mobile apps, and visual interfaces. The barrier to entry has never been lower. In this video, we're going from absolute beginner, just getting it installed, all the way to running multiple agents, connecting Claude to your entire workflow. Each tip builds on the last, and I'm giving you 10 of them. So, are you ready to get started? Let's go. All right, let's get started by downloading Claude Code. You can use Claude Code in the browser, the desktop app, and the mobile app. I'm going to recommend that you use it in the desktop app and the mobile app. So I'm going to put this link in the description below. You're going to download it. And then from there, you're going to be able to open up Claude Code on your desktop just like this. Once you're in Claude Code, you have 3 options here. You have the chat mode, which is just like ChatGPT, all right? Think of it just like that. You can chat with it. You can use the latest models, all that kind of good stuff. Then you have Cowork. Cowork is almost like Claude Code, but simplified. Within Cowork, you can have it do things on your computer. I could have it organize my desktop. Whatever you want to do on your computer, Cowork can help you do. Also think like Excel documents, all that kind of stuff. Cowork can help you in that way. It's a simplified version of Claude Code. But Claude Code is where the power happens, okay? Now in Claude Code, what's technically happening here is we're working in a terminal, but they've made this nice interface here so we don't get scared. But every computer, and I'll show you, you can go into terminal right here. Every computer has a terminal, right? And at any point, you can install Claude Code in the terminal and type in Claude, and you can access Claude Code just like this as well. It's the same as if you were going to access it like this. Now, I started in the desktop interface here, and then maybe after like a month of using it in the desktop, I wanted more, and then I started using it in the terminal. The terminal offers some cool things of just like shortcuts of how we want to build things. It's just a little bit easier. For example, right here, I have a shortcut for my Auto-Think. So this is a series of workflows that I've told Claude Code to build. And so in building this newsletter, it's going to ask me questions. It's going to fetch this. It's going to do X, Y, and Z. It's a workflow that I built. And all I need to do to toggle that workflow is essentially say Auto-Think, and then it's going to start it, right? And so these shortcuts are a little bit easier to access in terminal. However, coming back to the desktop application here, let's show you how to get started here. And just don't forget to download it on your mobile device, because I can do a lot of coding on my mobile device now. And in fact, it's so helpful. Let me pull it up on my mobile just to show you what it looks like. Very similar to the desktop app where we're in mobile here, and then I can go into a new session. And within that new session, I can find any of the projects here, and I could tell Claude Code to do something for me. It will work on that project in a remote environment, meaning it's not actually going to work on your device. It's going to work on the server. And then when you're ready, you can push it to GitHub, and GitHub will allow you to merge that change into your code base, okay? I'm probably losing you a little bit there, so let me pull back and just show you how to get started right here in Claude Code. So right away, it's asking, where do you want to work out of, okay? Now, again, it's working in our computer. And within our computer, you can set up your own file structure. The way that I've done this is I have my JJ location, I have my projects location, and then within my projects location, I have the different projects that I work in. At any point, you could choose whatever folder you want. You can go in there and create a new folder. And I'm going to say this is going to be 10 tips for Claude Code. All right, so I just created that folder. Now I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to pick that folder that I want to work out of. JJ, and I'm going to go projects, and it's going to be 10 tips for Claude Code. So now we are working out of that folder, okay? Now, what does a folder mean? Well, technically it means that wherever you're working out of that folder on your device. Now, generally what happens here is that have a code base within this folder that you can work out. In this case, we don't have a code base there yet. But this brings us to tip 2. Now that we've learned how to install Claude Code for desktop and mobile, now we want to configure our Claude.md environment. So for step 2, we're configuring our Claude.md. This is essentially the brain for our project, letting Claude know how we want to work with Claude Code going forward, right? And in this case, it's really, really simple. I'm going to choose a model such as Sonnet 4.6. This just came out. It's a really good model. And I'm going to tell Sonnet to make this Claude.md file for me. And listen to the way that I do this, right? I need you to set up and create a new Claude.md file within this folder. I am a non-technical builder. I am going to work on GTM engineering topics, and I need you to structure this file to make sure that you're responding to me in a way that someone that is non-technical, that doesn't know how to code, understands what you're doing. And whenever you can, explain what you're doing to me to make it easier for me to understand what's going on and give me tips and shortcuts and whatever I can to get up and running as easy as possible as a beginner. Now go off and create this file for me. All right, so it's going to add it in there, and I'm going to press send. And it's going to trust the workspace, essentially saying, hey, I trust this computer, I trust this folder. Now Claude is actually going to do these actions for us. It's going to go in there. The folder's empty, so I'll create the MD file. All right, at any point we can go into the actual folder, go into projects, 10 tips with Claude, and then soon we'll see that Claude.md file actually appearing in this folder for us, because that's what Claude is doing. So the Claude.md file, it's key. You want to keep this updated, and you want to keep this, along with synced with where you are at your journey. Now you can at any time just say, hey, Claude, update the file to reflect this, or Claude, update the file to do this, or Claude, change my communication style in this way, right? And it will do that. And in this case, it's built that file for us, and we can go in there, we can see what this file looks like. And at any point, we can actually just open this file and change it in plain text. But generally, this is like the system prompt that Claude uses to interact with you, and is very important. So that's tip number 2. All right, now tip number 3. This actually is a very simple one, but it's just one of those things where it's like, is it really that simple? So the tip is to ask Claude to tell you what it's doing whenever you have any questions, okay? It looks like this. Hey, Claude, what is an MD file and what did you just create for me? So it's going to go in there and then just bring us back the description of exactly what's happening. This is so helpful for new beginners that are learning what's happening, what's going on, etc. So, hey, what is an MD file? An MD file is a markdown file. It's just a plain text file with some simple formatting rules. Think of it as a Word document. What did I just create for you? I created an MD file. This is a special instructions file that Claude reads automatically every time you start a conversation. That's important. Every new conversation within Claude Code, it's reading from this MD file as the core rules. So you want to keep it updated as your core rules might change, etc., right? So at any point, whether it creates something for you or whatever, always feel free to just say, hey, Claude, what is that? Explain this to me. How does this work? It's going to do it. It's really, really, really good. So that's tip number 3. All right, tip number 4, use plan mode whenever you can. Let me show you what the different modes are and why you need to be using plan mode. So if you go down here, we'll see 3 different things. We have ask. So always ask before making changes. This is for those that really want to be strict of what areas Claude Code is accessing on your computer, what areas it's not, and making sure that you can approve each area before it accesses that. Or you can auto accept edits. Generally, this is good for beginners because we just don't know what we should accept or not. So we just auto accept those edits, and Claude Code uses its best practices to go in there and do it for you. And then finally, we get to plan mode. Plan mode is something that you should use before you start any new feature. Or if you get stumped in any way, to put it back into plan mode. What plan mode does is it looks into your file, your project, your code, and figures out a really good plan with a step-by-step to-do list of how it can accomplish this for you. And before it does any work, it shows you what everything is on the list for you to approve it and or make changes to it. So this is like, hey, you working with a project manager of like, I want to build this feature. You put in plan mode, Claude Code will put together that plan, and then you can go back and forth with Claude Code on that plan before you build anything. And if like you just don't like the plan, you could scrap it or you could change it, you can modify it. It saves you tokens in the long run, and it's very, very helpful. This is also good for if you're debugging something and it's just not working, put it back in the plan mode and say, help me debug this, help me fix this. And they'll take a step back, review everything, put together a checklist of like how to debug this the right way, and then continue working on it. So tip number 5 is to show Claude the successful example of what you're looking for. And we could do this in a lot of different ways. I recently made a video of me creating a case study for the community that I run in a Slack format. And the way that I did that was I went to the Slack case study page and I vetted the examples of the case studies that were good and that I wanted to replicate. And I gave it to Slack and said, here's a successful example. Save this in your code base so we know when we're writing what a successful example looks like. This can be taken and applied in many different areas, whether it's a successful website example, a successful video, a graphic, whatever it may be, you could feed that into Claude, whether it's a URL, a PDF document. Claude takes all of these, can save these, can analyze the structure, the tone, the writing, the colors, the themes, styles, and apply it into yours. It's really one of the quickest ways to get to the end result that you're looking for without having to be very, very specific within the prompts that you're looking for, okay? So whatever you're trying to do, find like really good examples of what that is, feed it to Claude, have it use those examples to create that style guide for you, and it'll be really, really good. I'll show you an example of how we could do that now, okay? So in this case, let's say I was building an application for a community that I wanted to do. I can go into this URL, and this is the actual application that I built for my Claude Code community. And I can bring it back to Claude. I can share that URL and say, hey, Claude, this is an application that I really like. It's good because it challenges the user to be more interactive with the application. It embodies the true styles and themes of Claude Code. And I want you to use it as a successful example. Can you analyze this and then save this within our project as a successful example? And that's it. You just save that and Claude Code will go, create a folder, analyze it, save all that details to you, and then you'll have that successful example in your repo, in your folder structure for Claude Code to use in any kind of way going forward. So it's a really, really helpful tip. Hopefully you use it because it will save you a lot. And you can also switch into chat mode at any time to help you craft the prompt that you need and then bring it back into the code mode and then use that prompt here to get a better result. Because a lot of communicating with Claude Code is based on your prompts, and Anthropic Claude, their chat mode can help you build those prompts better to put here, okay? So that's tip number 5. Tip number 6 is skilled. Claude Code has a lot of things at your advantage that you can use to get a better result. We have skills, plugins, hooks, and MCP servers. Now, skills is essentially like a very detailed MD file showing Claude how something should be done at a very niche level. An example here is Vercel put together this marketplace of skills that are really, really good. And so one example here could be the web design guidelines. I could tell Claude Code by copying this and bring it back into my desktop here, and say, add this skill to my project. And so what would happen there is Claude Code would go here, it would take this skill, download it to our project, and then be able to use this skill going forward for whatever it needs to. In this situation, the skill is web interface guidelines, okay? So this skill is very specific about how to create really good web designs using guidelines and whatnot that it's clearly laid out. It's very specific, right? And then you could choose to essentially say, when do I want to invoke this skill? And say, we want to invoke this skill whenever we work on creating UI or front-end projects that we're working on. And so you can give it a couple different ways to invoke it. Invoke it essentially means I want you to use this skill when I tell you to build an interface. When I tell you to build a UI, it will automatically use a skill in that way. Another skill that I really love is the agent browser right here. This is essentially a skill that has a built-in browser for Claude Code to be able to use to browse stuff for you. So let me show you how we would set this up. I want to copy this, take this, say, please add this skill to my project, and then help me test this skill by going to this URL once you're complete. Boom. And I'm going to grab this URL, bring it back in here. And now we're going to see Claude Code is going to take this skill, download it, add it to our project. And this skill specifically acts as a really good browser for Claude Code. Now, Claude Code can take this browser to test things on your behalf, to go research things on your behalf, do a lot of things on your behalf. And in this case, I'm just going to allow this because it's going to ask for some permissions to be able to download this within our projects folder there. Boom, there we go. Now, tip number 7 is to download the Chrome extension for Claude Code or Anthropic. By having that installed, you can open it up and then you can have Claude Code do things for you in your browser. An example here is I could pick whatever model I want, right? And I could just say, tell me more about what this website is and if it seems trustworthy, right? And so I'm going to prompt it just like I would in Claude Code. It's going to analyze the actual website, give me a plan. Now it's going to actually take over my browser and it's going to analyze this for me and then give me the result I'm looking for. Hey, what this website is, etc., right? Now this could do a lot more. It could fill out forms for you. It could browse for you. It can go and do different research for you. It's really powerful. So don't forget to download the Chrome extension. It works with the same subscription that you have for $20 a month for Claude Code and chat and everything else. And it really takes your ability to use Claude Code and Anthropic even further. I use it for a lot and I think you'll really enjoy it. For tip number 8, I want to talk about slash commands. I kind of referred to this earlier in the video with the ultra thing skill, but we can have Claude Code create a slash command for us, which includes a series of steps. Hey, Claude Code, I want you to create a slash command that will be invoked whenever I want to create a newsletter for the workflows. This is a newsletter that I send out each week to my audience. I want to be stay updated with the latest in AI. For this newsletter, I want you to start by interviewing me, asking me a series of questions for what we want this newsletter to be about. Then I want you to go and do some latest research on what's happening in the AI world and industry within the last week. And then once you have all the information that you need, I want you to put together a plan for writing this newsletter and then finally write the newsletter for me. And I want to invoke this slash command whenever I type slash the workflows. Let me know if you have any questions. Here. And so I would go in and create a slash command like that in the desktop app. In the actual terminal, it would look a little bit different. I'd do a slash and then I'd go and create that command or tell Claude Code to create the slash command in a similar way. But now you can see it automatically entered plan mode and it's going to create a series of steps that Claude Code will do for you whenever you type in this slash command, making it really easy for you to do repeatable stuff in a very simple way. So if like every week you have the newsletter and you have, social posting, and you have a YouTube video, you can create a slash command for each workflow that you have there, and it will bring you through that series of steps that you need to do or that you outline for each of those to give you the end result that you're looking for. I talked about this in a video where I did some of my content creation with Claude Code, also within my remotion for Claude Code. Feel free to check those out in the videos on this channel. Really helpful stuff there too. But generally, this is a really helpful command that you could do to create serious workflows, like totally no code, just talking to it in that way. Look, it now has everything it needs. It's writing the plan. It's building this for me, and it's going to be really, really awesome. So it's slash commands. It's there. It's really easy to use, essentially like a built-in workflow that Claude Code can run over and over for you in a systematized way, and then you can update it and adjust it as you go. Now, for tip number 9, I'm going to show you how to run multiple agents at once and some things that you should look out for when doing this. So right here, we are in our first window here, and it just gave us a plan for creating this, right? And actually say, you know what? I actually don't want to create this plan, so I'm just going to get out of there for now, all right? And I'm going to say, never mind, let's cancel that, okay? So it's going to cancel that, that's fine. So I could essentially say, all right, start building that plan, and I can open up my sidebar and I can go into a new session, and then I can go into the same folder and have the agent do another thing for me. Now, what would happen there is I would have two agents working for me, both doing the same thing in the same project at the same time. And I could keep doing that. I can keep opening new sessions, almost like ChatGPT windows of like, hey, I have this 5 different chats going. But in this case, it's 5 different agents working for you at the same time. There are some cautions here though. Whenever you're doing this, you want to make sure that it's not stepping on each other, meaning the agent that you have in this window is not the same or working on the same agent that you're working on in another window. So for example, say the other window, I was working on creating that plan for that slash command, right? I would not want to have this window modifying the plan for that slash command because they would be stepping and overriding each other, right? I would want this window to make like a new slash command or just working on a new task entirely. Another way to think about it is, let's say you're working on a website. A website has a front end, a workflow layer, and a database layer, a backend server, right? One agent could be working on the front end. You could have another agent working on the workflows and the logic, and then a third agent working on the database. Now, all those could be working at the same time. And since they're working in different areas of the app, they're not overwriting each other, and it would be okay. So that's the big thing about working with multiple agents, but it's actually a lot easier than you think. You just start a new session, you get into it, boom. Awesome. Now, the last tip that we have for you is Claude Code plugins are kind of like skills and kind of like slash commands, but it kind of like packages it all together in a little bit of a better way. It's also a little bit of like using the MCP service too. So it's a more easy way to use all of that stuff bundled together if you don't want to get into the weeds of creating a skill or a slash command or anything like that. An example here is, let's say, code review, okay? I can install this skill to automate the code review for any kind of pull requests. Or I can install Contact 7. So Contact 7 is an MCP server that pulls in all of the latest documents for all of the latest programming languages to make sure that whenever Claude Code writes something, it's using the latest syntax and everything of all the languages that it's using. It will happen automatically in the background, and it's just a great plugin to install. So I'm just installed that plugin, boom. It's ready to use, it's all good, all right? So it's like giving you Claude Code superpowers with a one-click install. Another one that we could do is say, hey, maybe we want to work with Asana, right? We want project management and we want our Asana to link together. I can install the Asana plugin right here, and it will help me connect to my Asana. So that way within Claude Code here, I'm literally creating Asana tickets, and that plugin just manages the connection between the two. All right. So I had just given you 10 tips of how you can use Claude Code to like do so much more in life, in personal and work. We didn't touch the terminal. I showed it to you, but we didn't touch it. We're in the desktop app. We're in the mobile app. We're in the Chrome extension app using AI to do work for us. It really is an incredible time, and you need to be experimenting with it because I'm literally in Claude Code all the time. I am on the $100 a month plan, and I am using Claude Code day and night, and I'm just about hitting the limits. The next one up would be the $200 plan, but like I'm telling you, I am hitting it hard. Definitely getting my money's worth for $100 a month with chat, Cowork, Claude Code. It is the best $100 a month I spend each month. And also, this is not sponsored by Claude Code. This is not sponsored by Anthropic. I'm doing this because it's just really helped me, and I hope it can help you. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave us a like. Please subscribe below. Each week, I help people like you do 10x more with AI. We're in this incredible time where anybody, non-engineers, marketers, customer service, designers can use AI within their own domains, applying their domain knowledge with AI to get supercharged results. That's what I'm teaching you in this channel. So if you like it, subscribe, comment below, let me know. Otherwise, I really appreciate you watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.